So, okay, but before you upload this one, just send it to me before. And then I'll be like, okay, we can post this.
Okay, fine. This will be called Hannah's special
So we'll
shortened.
figure out a name
Yeah,
later.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
So,
what I did was, yeah, so how I grew up, it was always from paycheck to paycheck. Here in Belize, we call it from hand to mouth,
hmm
because it's like all your pay is enough for is just to buy food and your necessities. So it was always paycheck to paycheck, and I grew up getting used to just making do with whatever we had. There wasn't really any room to do something just because we wanted to. The paint at my parents' house is the paint that was there from the time I was a kid growing up, you know. So I grew up with this very frugal, um we have to make things stretch sort of mentality. And so when I saw the paint in the house that we were about to move in, it was uh, I, I felt I felt like the color just drained my energy. Yeah. And I told my husband, I'm like, we need to get paint because this isn't gonna work. And I like to say that, well, not I like to say, this is actually a part of what I wrote in my scholarship application, was that 3-4 years ago, like, of all the houses we moved in, we've always not liked the paint. There's probably only two places where the paint was okay, but the other places we wanted to paint it something else. But um we never pursued it, and I actually didn't try to pursue it in any way. I just thought, I grew up accustomed to just making do with what I had. So for me, and paint is so expensive here, for me, just dealing with the color of the paint is like a way of life, so to speak. And it seems so inconsequential, but I've learned so much. I feel like the pandemic has taught me so much in terms of how my physical space affects my mental space and my productivity and how I show up in life. Whether it's personal or with clients. And so I told my husband I wanted to buy paint, and it ended up being about 62% of my pay for that period. But what we did was we got a small loan from our local credit union for that. And I kind of look back and chuckle because I'm like, Hannah 5 years ago would look at me funny and be like, really, you spend that much money on paint? Like, can't you just deal with it? And the colors weren't the ugliest colors in the world. They weren't ugly at all. It's just that for the space that it was in, it just didn't work for me. And so that's what I wrote about in my scholarship application.
so, and that
Oh,
got you a full scholarship. So, actually, are you going to go there?
no, it's online. So it's
Okay.
actually, yeah, it's actually in process right now. So the modules are released every week. And another thing about it that I like is the accountability that's tied into it, because um we get homework, but they don't call it homework. They kind of rebrand homework, which I like. They call it challenges. And then there are other copywriters, I think from previous cohorts, and they review the work that we submit for the challenges, and they critique it, and make comments on what works or what we could have done better and all of that. So it's been really helpful in that way, because um since I have a tendency to um also people please, I'm unlearning a lot of things these days, and to to make everything else except what I want or for myself, I tend to make everything else a priority. And so having the accountability tied into it that way has been helpful for me to keep myself accountable and be like, okay, I need to watch this module within the next week or so or whatever, because otherwise, like with other courses I've bought, they're on a digital shelf catching dust.
Yes. This is the thing.
And it's not that I don't have intentions to get to it, but I do, but it's just like there's always some other thing that it's more is more important or something like that. So I like that this kind of helps me to prioritize my personal development that way.
Excellent.
With the accountability tied in.
So tell us again, what's the scholarship to?
It's to a copywriting program by Mikal. I'm probably not saying her name right. Mikal Aizkowitz, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, she's on LinkedIn. The course is called Copy Tribe. And
Okay.
I think this is the 5th cohort that I'm enrolled in.
And you told me it was $4,500? $5,000?
I think that was about the price, yeah, because there were two different what's it called, tiers.
Yeah.
So the first part of the program, well, one part that you can get is focused mainly on copywriting, and the second part is focused on being a freelance copywriter, but making sure you're operating like a business. So yeah, I was one of 2 persons to get the full scholarship, so I got both the copywriting and the business training aspect of the course.
How exciting is that? Right, I've just recorded that. I'm going to stop now so that you don't feel under the